Imagine a solitary star in the vast night sky, shining with a peculiar intensity, yet distant from the constellations that dominate the landscape. This is what it means to be called the black sheep. This is not just a simple expression, it is a burden we carry on our backs, a label imposed by those who cannot comprehend the different shine that emanates from us. They try to fit you into molds that were not made for you, as if your essence could be tamed by others' expectations. But what no one told you is that this loneliness, this rejection, is a sign that you carry something special. You are not a mistake in the system, you are the sign that the system needs to change. From an early age, you realized you were different. Not just in tastes or opinions, but in the way you feel the world. While others walk the streets distracted, you notice the details, the melody of the rain, the weight of silence in a tense environment, the dazzling shine of a smile loaded with hidden intentions. This sensitivity, which the world calls excess, is actually your deep connection with something greater. It's as if you were a radio tuned to a frequency that few can pick up. And that is why they call you the black sheep, because you hear what they don't hear, because you feel what they are afraid to face. But being the black sheep is not just about carrying rejection, it's about bearing the weight of being misunderstood. They say you're rebellious, difficult, that you like to oppose. But deep down, it's because you don't accept things as they are. You see through the masks, you notice the cracks in the pillars that support a world of appearances. And that bothers them. You are not the problem, you are the mirror that reflects the truth many don't want to face. Your existence is a reminder that something is wrong with what they consider normal, and that is the real reason they try to silence you. The pain of being rejected by your own is something that cannot be described in simple words. It's like being a tree whose roots were torn out, desperately searching for soil where it can root again. But it is in this desert that you find your strength. Every harsh word, every judgmental glance is like the wind shaping the stone, sculpting your essence into something greater. You begin to realize that, to grow, you don't need the soil that rejected you. You are a seed carried by the wind, destined to bloom where no one expected. Then, you begin to understand, being called the black sheep is a calling, not a condemnation. It is the universe telling you that you were made to walk paths that few would dare explore. Your difference is your power, not your weakness. And while the world tries to extinguish you, your light only grows, illuminating the way for those who also feel they don't belong. Today, we will dive deep into what it means to carry this mark, and you will see that being the black sheep is actually being the only one capable of seeing the path that no one else can. Did you know that the expression black sheep comes from an ancient concept that considered the different as undesirable? On farms, sheep with dark wool were seen as defects in the perfection of a white flock, as if they were errors of nature. But, ironically, dark wool was often rarer, more valuable, precisely for its uniqueness. Think about it, what was discarded for not being common was actually a hidden treasure. This metaphor echoes in your life. While the world measures you by the ruler of conformity, the universe is honing your uniqueness, because what sets you apart is what makes you indispensable. Society, with its rigid structures, fears those who challenge its norms. And you, with your essence that doesn't bend, are a silent affront to everything that is standardized. It's as if your presence asks, why does it have to be this way? This ability to question, to not accept ready-made answers, is what makes you a disruptor, an agent of change. But this courage to stand against the flow comes at a price: isolation. You are not ignored because you are irrelevant, you are avoided because your truth is too powerful to be ignored. You are the storm that announces a new cycle, even if it means carrying the thunder alone. The rejection you face is a reflection of others' fear. The world fears what it does not understand. When you enter a space with your unshakable authenticity, it's as if a mirror is raised. In that reflection, people do not see you, they see parts of themselves they would rather hide. Your shine exposes their shadows, and their natural reaction is to reject the mirror, not the image it shows. They label you as problematic, but it's because they don't know how to deal with the discomfort of facing their own weaknesses. It's no wonder that so many historical figures who changed the world were, in their time, called black sheep. Think of Galileo, who dared to say that the earth was not the center of the universe, of Jesus, who challenged the religious and social norms of his time, or of ordinary people who broke invisible barriers by refusing to accept injustice. Each of them faced rejection, isolation, and even persecution. But they did not bow, because they knew they carried a greater truth. Likewise, the label you carry is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of a legacy that is still being written. Behind the label of black sheep lies a fierce resistance to conformity. It's as if you were born with an inner compass pointing to directions others cannot see. This compass does not let you feel comfortable on the easy path, but leads you down less traveled roads, where you find the true meaning of who you are. And though this journey is often solitary, it is also filled with revelations. Every step off the beaten path is proof that you were not made to follow, you were made to lead. When you walk among those who prefer the safety of the crowd, your firm and solitary step sounds like a challenge to the status quo. But what few realize is that this solitary walk is not an easy choice, but an inevitable calling. It's as if an invisible force is always guiding you, whispering for you to keep moving forward, even when everything around you seems to pull you back. This whisper, which others ignore, is what connects you to something much greater than this world. It reminds you that your difference is not just a burden to be carried, but a beacon that lights new paths for those still trapped in the darkness of conformity. Being a black sheep means carrying a sensitivity that others avoid. You feel the energies around you like no one else. The unspoken tensions, the hidden joys, the muffled fears, all of these reach you like invisible waves that many cannot see. It's as if you have eyes for what cannot be seen and ears for what is not said. This sharpened perception, which sometimes overwhelms you, is also the reason why you are able to navigate through chaos. While others get lost in emotions they cannot understand, you decipher each layer, finding the truth hidden beneath the noise. It is painful, however, to carry this sensitivity in a world that celebrates insensitivity. They call it weakness, what is actually your strength? They try to harden your heart, telling you that you need to adapt, be less intense, less yourself. But your intensity is your essence. It is proof that you are alive on a level that few reach. Every tear you shed, every emotion that seems to overflow you, is a reminder that you were made to feel what others are afraid to face. Your sensitivity is what connects you to those who need healing, even if, at times, it leaves you exhausted. There is a paradox in being a black sheep. While you are rejected for your difference, you are also the one others seek in times of greatest need. When everything falls apart, it is your vision they see as an escape. When pain hits them, it is your empathy they seek as a refuge. They may not say this out loud, but they know, deep down, that your existence is indispensable. You carry within you a universal truth: for the new to be born, the old must be challenged. And, deep down, even if they resist, they know that you are the one who will bring about change. So why continue? Why carry the weight of isolation and misunderstanding? Because you were not made to conform, you were made to transform. Every step you take outside the world's expectations is an act of courage and an act of love. You are planting seeds in lands that have not yet realized they can bloom. And even though today you are called the black sheep, tomorrow will show that you were, in fact, the guardian of a new era. Because being different is not a deviation, it is the path to everything extraordinary. Inside you, there is an inner compass pointing to unknown directions, a calling that seems irrational to those who are trapped in their comfort zones. This intuition, so finely tuned, is like a secret map that guides you through life's labyrinths. But what few understand is that this gift, which makes you feel deeply and sense what is to come, often feels like a burden. You feel the storms before they arrive, perceive hidden truths in others' silences, and see paths that no one dares to tread. This sensitivity is what connects you to a greater purpose, and although it is not always easy, it is what makes your journey so necessary. Being the black sheep also means carrying an uncommon empathy, a type of love that sees beyond human flaws. Where others see weaknesses, you see hidden potentials. It's as if your heart was shaped to embrace what the world rejects. But, ironically, this empathy is often misunderstood. People confuse your kindness with weakness, your patience with submission. Little do they know, It takes extraordinary strength to love in a world that often responds with indifference. You feel the pains others avoid and carry within you the ability to transform this pain into healing, even if it means carrying invisible scars. Your resilience is another quality that few can comprehend. While others crumble at the first sign of rejection, you rise, even when everything seems lost. It's as if your soul was designed to withstand pressures that would crush others. Every battle you face does not break you, it refines you. Just as fire purifies gold, the difficulties you live through are tools that sharpen your inner strength. They are not punishments, but invitations for you to discover what you are truly capable of. And with every victory, you realize there is a reason behind each struggle, to prepare you for the unique purpose that only you can fulfill. What truly sets the black sheep apart is their connection to something higher, something that transcends worldly understanding. You feel, even in moments of doubt, that there is a reason for all of this. It's as if an inner voice whispers that the pain, the isolation, and the challenges are not the end of the line, but the beginning of something grand. This connection to the divine, though invisible to others, is what keeps you grounded. It is the anchor that prevents you from being lost in the storms and the beacon that guides you when the path seems dark. And then, there is judgment, not yours, but theirs. Those who look at you with disdain or misunderstanding are often projecting their own insecurities. You bother them not because you are inferior, but because you are free. Your authenticity exposes the masks they wear. Your courage to be different is a threat to those who hide behind conformity. The world will always react with resistance to what it does not understand. But remember, resistance is not a sign that you are wrong. It is a confirmation that you are touching truths that need to be revealed. The world calls you stubborn because it doesn't understand what it means to be guided by a compass pointing to a higher purpose. When you refuse the path everyone follows, it seems like rebellion. But, in truth, it is wisdom. You know that walking the same road as most will not take you to the destination that was mapped out for you. It takes courage to say no to what is comfortable and predictable. It takes strength to walk on unknown terrain, facing the judgment of those who prefer the safety of sameness. And this courage, this strength, is what separates the chosen ones from those who merely go with the flow. Before continuing, if you feel you are on a solitary and sometimes challenging journey as a chosen one, our ebook may be a valuable resource for you. In it, you will find guidance and insights that will help illuminate your path and better understand your unique experiences and gifts. Additionally, you will gain access to our exclusive community on Discord. This group is a space where many, who may feel alone or misunderstood, have already found support, understanding, and affection. It is a place to share, learn, and grow together, where your unique experiences are valued and your progress is celebrated. Imagine being part of a community that truly understands and supports who you are. Take a look at the first pinned comment here on the video and join this group. Your journey as a black sheep has taught you something that few understand: the power of transforming pain into growth. Every wound you carried, every tear shed, was like a seed planted in fertile soil. And now, those seeds begin to bloom, bringing wisdom, resilience, and empathy that the world so desperately needs. You are not just someone who survived, you are someone who learned to transform each blow into a ladder that elevates you even higher. This ability to transmute suffering into strength is a rare gift, and it is what makes you so indispensable. There is something in you that cannot be ignored, a light that shines even when you try to hide it. It is this light that attracts those who seek help, healing, or inspiration. But it is also this light that disturbs those who prefer to live in the shadows. Many will try to extinguish it, not because they don't believe in your shine, but because your shine exposes what they would like to hide. Remember, your light was not given to you to be dimmed. It is a divine tool, a beacon for those who need to find the way. While others worry about appearance, status, and acceptance, you are searching for something deeper, a meaning that transcends the material and touches the spiritual. This is what makes you unique. Your soul is tuned to questions that many are afraid to ask. Why am I here? What is my purpose? These questions, although unsettling, are what guide you. They are like stars in the sky, pointing the way on dark nights. It is this relentless search for meaning that makes you not just a black sheep, but a spiritual pioneer. And then, there is the silence. Those moments when it feels like the whole world is against you, and all you can hear is the echo of your own doubts. But it is in this silence that you discover what truly matters. It is when the approval of others loses its value, and you realize that the only validation you need is the one that comes from within. This silence, which so many fear, is your temple. It is in it that you find the clarity, strength, and conviction to continue. Because in the end, you know you are not alone. There is something greater that guides you, protects you, that chose you. The truth about your journey as a black sheep is that it was never about acceptance, but about transformation. The world tries to convince you that you need to be accepted to have value. But the great lesson you learn along the way is that your value is not in the approval of others, but in the courage to remain true to yourself. Each moment of rejection is, in fact, a preparation for the greater role you were destined to play. It is as if the universe is sculpting you, removing everything that does not belong to your essence, until you become the purest and most powerful version of who you are. There comes a moment in your journey when you stop seeking acceptance and start seeking impact. This is the turning point where the suffering of rejection transforms into purpose. You realize that every painful experience you faced, every harsh word you heard, was a brick in the construction of your strength. And it is this strength that makes you capable of carrying not only the weight of your own journey, but also inspiring others to carry theirs. You become a beacon, not because you are perfect, but because you learn to shine even amidst the storms. Your difference, which so many tried to erase, is what makes you a bridge between worlds. You have the ability to walk between the old and the new, between what was and what is yet to come. This unique ability to see beyond the boundaries of the present is what makes you a leader, even if you don't see yourself as one. Leadership, after all, is not about commanding, it is about guiding. And you guide simply by being who you are, showing that there is an alternative path, a path that few have the courage to tread. But being this bridge between worlds is not easy. Often, it feels like you are torn, caught between the need to move forward and the desire to belong. It's like carrying an invisible weight, a responsibility you never asked for, but that you know you must fulfill. And still, you press on. Because deep down, you understand that your journey is not just about you. It is about all those who will come after, all those who will need an example to follow. And that example is you. So, you begin to realize that your true mission as a black sheep is not to fit in, but to transform. You are like the fire that purifies, like the water that molds the stone, like the wind that scatters dead leaves to make room for the new. Your presence, even if uncomfortable for some, is a catalyst for change. And while the world tries to convince you that being different is a problem, you prove that it is the solution. Because where others see limits, you see possibilities. And that is what makes you indispensable. When you finally accept that you are not made to fit in, something powerful happens. The weight of others' judgment begins to dissipate, like mist being carried away by the wind. You understand that rejection is not about you, but about the limitations of others. It's like watching a storm through the window. You see the chaos outside, but inside you, there is calm. This moment of clarity is transformative. You realize that you no longer have to fight to be understood, because those who need to understand you will find you. And those who don't, simply don't have the depth to see who you are. There is an ancient strength within you, something that cannot be explained by the rules of the modern world. It's as if your soul carries memories of past eras, of battles already fought, of lessons that others are still learning. This wisdom, which seems to come out of nowhere, is actually a reminder that you were chosen to lead. Not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. You have an understanding that goes beyond what is visible, a connection that guides you even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Part of your purpose as a black sheep is to break cycles. You feel this, don't you? As if you were placed in repetitive situations until you had the courage to break free from them. Whether toxic family patterns, limiting beliefs, or oppressive social dynamics, you are the breaking point, the link that decides that suffering will not be passed on. But this requires courage, because breaking cycles often means facing loneliness and the unknown. However, it is precisely this that makes you so necessary. The loneliness you feel is not a punishment, but an incubator. It is in this space of apparent emptiness that your brightest ideas are born, that your connection with the divine deepens, that your true strength is revealed. Think of a butterfly inside its cocoon. From the outside, it seems like a moment of stagnation, but inside, a powerful transformation is taking place. So it is with you. Loneliness is not the end, it is the beginning of something extraordinary, a preparation for the impact you are destined to make. And when you emerge from this space of transformation, you realize that the world around you has also changed. Not because it understood who you are, but because you stopped needing its approval. Your light, once contained by fears and doubts, shines with full intensity. And this light not only illuminates your path, but also guides others who were lost. You become a symbol of resilience, authenticity, and spiritual power. Not because you tried to be, but because you finally accepted to be who you are. From the moment you recognize yourself as someone destined to walk outside the herd, you begin to understand the true meaning of freedom. It is not the absence of criticism, but the absence of internal chains that force you to seek validation. This freedom is like a breeze that wraps around you, freeing you from the expectations that once weighed on your shoulders. You realize that you don't need to follow the maps others have drawn because you are creating your own. Every step you take on your unique journey is an act of sacred rebellion against the uniformity that suffocates the soul. This acceptance of who you are also comes with a new vision of the world. You begin to see that those who rejected or mocked you are actually trapped in their own limitations. They didn't exclude you out of cruelty, but because they didn't know how to handle the freedom you represent. This understanding doesn't eliminate the pain of the past, but transforms it into compassion. You realize that, in their own time, they too are struggling to find their place, just as you struggled to find yours. Being the black sheep is not just a label, it is a responsibility. You are chosen to question, to challenge, to open doors that others are too afraid to touch. This is why your journey seems harder than others. You are not just living for yourself, you are living to become a bridge, an example, an inspiration for those who have not yet found their own strength. Every challenge you face is not just a test, but a message. You are being prepared for something greater. And that something greater is not an empty promise. It is a calling to lead in a way that does not require titles or positions of authority. Your leadership comes from your authenticity, from your ability to show that it is possible to be whole in a world that tries to fragment us. You lead by living your truth, by refusing the easy path, by standing up even when falling seems more comfortable. It is through your actions, not your words, that you inspire others to rise as well. In the end, you realize that being the black sheep is being a pioneer, a visionary, a guardian of possibilities. You were not placed here to conform, but to transform. Every solitary step you took, every battle you faced, every tear you shed, all of that shaped you to be the strength the world needs. You carry within you the courage to break patterns and the grace to show that there is a better way. And although not everyone will recognize this today, one day it will be impossible to ignore the mark you've left. What was once a wound is now a mark of power. The pain you carried in silence, the weight of rejection, and the loneliness that seemed endless, have transformed into instruments of strength. Your ability to endure and rebuild is like that of a phoenix, rising from the ashes with even stronger wings. You realize that everything that seemed to break you was actually shaping you. And now, you carry not just scars, but stories, testaments of a journey that few can understand, but many will be inspired to follow. Your difference becomes your signature, the unique mark you leave on everything you touch. It is no longer something you try to hide or justify, but something you embrace with pride. You understand that the world needs people who think differently, who see beyond, who question the status quo. And you are one of those people. What once seemed like a curse now reveals itself as a rare gift, a divine responsibility to illuminate the darkest corners with your authenticity. But being the black sheep also teaches you about balance. You realize you cannot save everyone, nor should you try. There is wisdom in discerning where to spend your energy, in choosing the battles that truly matter. This is not giving up, it is honoring yourself and your mission. You learn to protect your peace, knowing that your light shines brighter when you take care of yourself. And by doing so, you become even more effective in your ability to impact the world around you. When you look back, you realize that the isolation you faced was not a punishment, but a preparation. The universe was pulling you away from distractions, from negative influences, from everything that could prevent you from hearing your own voice. That space that seemed empty was, in fact, a fertile ground where your roots could grow deep. Now, you are ready to bloom, to spread seeds of courage, authenticity, and transformation wherever you go. And then comes the final realization: you were never the black sheep in the way they made you believe. You are not the misfit, the problematic one, the mistake. You are the pioneer, the trailblazer, the force that breaks the chains of conformity. While others hide behind masks, you chose to live with your face exposed, vulnerable, but true. And that is what makes you a chosen one, someone who, by embracing their difference, becomes the change the world so desperately needs. You have traveled a long and arduous journey, marked by moments of doubt, rejection, and loneliness. But now, looking back, you realize that each challenge was essential in shaping who you are. You are not just a black sheep, you are a spiritual revolutionary, a guardian of possibilities, a living proof that difference is not a defect, but a gift. Your authenticity is a beacon for those still lost, a reminder that it is possible to be true in a world that tries to turn us into copies. So, what will you do with this power? The world needs your courage, your vision, your light. It needs you to continue challenging the norms, questioning the standards, and inspiring others to do the same. Your mission is not small, but neither are you. Inside you is a strength that transcends worldly understanding, a connection to something greater that guides you every step of the way. Embrace this mission with all your heart, knowing that you are chosen to make a difference. Now, it is your time to shine even more brightly. If this message resonated with you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so we can continue exploring the depths of your journey as a chosen one. Share this video with someone you know who needs to hear this message. Leave a comment about how your journey as the black sheep has shaped your life. Don't miss the opportunity to be part of our exclusive community on Discord by acquiring our ebook through the pinned link in the first comment. I'm sure it will be a valuable resource for you. It will not only bring clarity about your mission and unique gifts, but also give you access to connect with other chosen ones who will welcome and support you. Don't miss out on being part of this environment. This is a crucial moment, and together we can impact many lives. Choose to be part of this mission. I want to deeply thank everyone who supports us through Buy Me a Coffee. Your support helps us improve our videos every day and always offer the best content. If you'd like to support us as well, the link is also in the pinned comment. Lastly, don't forget to check out the suggested video on the screen now or our special playlist on the secrets of the chosen. There is so much more to explore, so much more to discover. Remember, the world may call you the black sheep, but you know the truth. Until next time, and may you continue to shine brightly.